G'day there guys, and welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. It's your main man Markee, and I'll be your host for today. If you love this content, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Thank you. Our first post is by user, dunno, they deleted their account, titled, Am I the a-hole for celebrating my anniversary despite what happened at my wedding? So, my husband and I had our wedding last year. The venue was beautiful and bordered a lake. Unfortunately, during the reception, one of the young children snuck away from their parents and decided to go for a swim, despite not being able to. This was tragic and devastating, and obviously cut the day short. We haven't really spoken to the parents since then, as we weren't close to them, aside from seeing them on holidays, which haven't happened this year. We are still Facebook friends though. When our first anniversary came, I made a post celebrating our anniversary with a few wedding photos. I didn't think anything of it until the comments came flooding in. I woke up to 30 comments and 15 missed calls. The top comment was from the mother of the child, who was outraged about it. She wrote a very long comment about how my post was disrespectful of the tragedy that had happened that day, and how dare I post that and not mention her child. And of course, talking to her first. 30 comments later, and it was clear that the entire family had clearly started to take sides in a battle that I didn't realize I created. As of today, we're at 150 comments. My friends and my parents are involved too. Half of his family is screaming for me to take it down, apologize to the parents, and show more respect, possibly by even celebrating our anniversary on a different day. Some of the family think that we should still be able to celebrate our anniversary on the actual day, but just keep it offline to keep the peace. I don't think I did anything wrong with my post, and I feel like we should be allowed to celebrate our anniversary just like anyone else. I'm not celebrating the tragedy, I'm celebrating my wedding. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I have changed the post to only be visible to me and deleted all comments to try and stop the arguing. But from the email we just received, those comments were just a symptom of a larger problem. My mother-in-law sent us an email with, from what I can tell, roughly 3/4 of my husband's family CC'd on it. His parents, grandparents, and the parents of the child are not only in the different day camp, but they're also demanding a second wedding. According to them, they've kept their silence for so long due to shock and being distracted by everything else going on this year, but that they feel that because of what happened, we aren't really married yet in the family. They understand that weddings are expensive, so they, the husband's parents, offered to completely pay for this second wedding that will be the real wedding in his family's eyes, and because it may be a year or two before this can be done safely, they will tolerate us living in sin indefinitely due to these circumstances. My husband hates arguing with his family, and I'm not sure how I would even approach this with my family without being laughed out of the room. So now we need to talk about what to do with this. Edit 2. I've never had this many calls in my life. My husband and I have tried to read through this, and have gotten a chance to actually talk this out. We've avoided the subject for a long time because it's not an easy thing to think about, and it's not like this year hasn't had stresses of its own. He agrees that while something does need to happen, it is a priority that they start and continue to acknowledge that we are in fact married. I've had a conversation with my parents at least, who were exactly as they were always, but they are now aware of the full situation, and while they still would not support a full second wedding, they understand that I have an exceptional situation, and so something exceptional needs to happen. I replied to my mother-in-law only to a group Zoom call with us, my parents, my husband's sister-in-law, to set up that sets up all of their technology things, which will happen later in the day. I feel like I should address some things. 1. I did send condolences and attended the funeral. By not speaking, I meant since the funeral. I mistakenly thought that that would be implied. 2. I am not heartless. I was trying to avoid the rules with a euphemism, and it's not an easy day or thing to talk about. I was trying to keep things to just what happened, which I can see coming across very strange over text. I'm also aware that I write very formally, but that's not something I can change. 3. The pictures and caption didn't reference the wedding itself. There was no lake visible in the pictures. I only used ones that had just my husband and I in them, and I've sent pictures of just the bridal party before. I never have or will post pictures of the reception. And 4, my husband and I are looking for ideas on how to fix this. This is a really hard subject to tackle, this one. I think just, this is too much for me to talk about. I'm just going to go with an everyone sucks here for this. I don't agree with the actions from either sides of this argument, but I can definitely see why both did it, and I feel like a lot of people are in a lot of pain right now. Perhaps this isn't a normal situation to go judging people for. I think this is a give them advice, this is really messed up kind of situation. Just going to leave it at that, everyone sucks here. Superfast Mama says, everyone sucks here, but for crying out loud, take the post down. On one hand is a family with a dead child facing the 1-year anniversary of their loss. Unimaginable pain. On the other hand is your need to have people comment on how pretty your wedding was and to tell you happy anniversary. Their pain far outweighs your need for likes. Why you didn't block the family of the dead child from your post is beyond my ability to comprehend. As soon as you saw that it was causing pain, you delete the post. Of course, you can celebrate your anniversary all you want, just not visible to these people who have a dead child. Show compassion. I have to agree here. We weren't that close isn't exactly a great excuse for ignoring that someone who will see this post lost their child during this event. Quote, I don't live on Facebook and only really post for events and for Messenger. Also this is what OP wrote in the comments. They aren't even very active on Facebook, but needed to post a memory of this particular event. Okay, with the benefit of the doubt, they may not have realized that this would have upset the parents, even though I find that hard to believe, and they aren't familiar with the option of making the post visible for only a certain group of people. But after they refused to take it down, that's where OP became the a-hole. I cannot understand how OP thought this would be okay. It shows a total lack of empathy and awareness. She should have removed the post and apologized immediately. How could you not associate your wedding with the death of a child every single year? So yes, OP is the a-hole. As a kid born on 9/11, am I allowed to celebrate my birthday? It's not about it being on the same day. It's about it being the same event. You're comparing apples and oranges. It's more like if you had a birthday party in the bottom floor of the towers on that day. The towers came down, and you and your closest friends escaped, but somebody else who attended your party did not. Then, 1 year later, you post pictures of last year's party with some words about how much fun you had and how great it was, with no mention of the person or people that died at your party. You're the a-hole? Something awful happened at your wedding, it wasn't your fault, but it's something that you have to deal with. I'm very sorry that you will never be able to have a normal anniversary, but that's a small burden compared to having to deal with the loss of a child. Those that say you should just celebrate privately are absolutely correct. Do not put anything celebratory where the grieving parents can see it. People have been celebrating anniversaries for centuries before Facebook existed. You'll survive without making public announcements of your love for your friends to see. Okay, I think that that changes my opinion to everyone sucks here there. Jesus Christ. I'm not sure if anyone that went to the wedding wants to see those pictures though. I don't think that blocking the parents from seeing the post would have done much good. I feel like as soon as you see those photos, you're reminded that a child drowned at this event, and that's just absolutely tragic. I'm gonna go with you're the a-hole for this one. I feel like that should never have been posted. Our next post is by user Jarvajipafut, titled, Am I the a-hole for not paying for my neighbor's dog's child support? Yes, you read that right. This story is going to sound ridiculous, especially with that story from yesterday about the dogs cheating, but I assure you this isn't a shitpost. My neighbor's dog recently got pregnant, and she claims my dog did it, which is likely because her dog often escaped into my yard, and she lets her dogs roam around it. It's annoying because her dog shits in my yard. Well, now that she's pregnant, she's pissed because hers was a purebred, and she wanted to breed it. She says she's entitled to financial compensation, and I'll have to pay child support for the pups, as it'll cost her to take care of them. I laughed my ass off and said fat chance, and no way in hell I'm paying for her dog's child support, and this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. She's threatening legal action, and I'm pretty sure she can't do anything. She did nothing to stop her dog from entering my yard and often encouraged it. She just assumed my dog was neutered. She can't prove my dog impregnated hers, and lastly, I don't think child support works for dogs. I agree with all of these statements from OP. I feel like just because it's a purebred does not give you rights for compensation of any kind. I've never heard of compensation for dogs being pregnant. That's just something that you deal with. I think this woman is just searching for any excuse she can to get money out of these people, knowing that she's screwed up and she wants someone to yell at because she's like, "Grr, no, it can't be me, it's the kids that's done this, for sure. Old man yells at cloud, that's crazy." I agree with everything OP's done here. I think they should continue to tell them to piss off. Good stuff, OP, not the a-hole. Royally Okie says, "Not the a-hole. This is looking interesting. Do you get half the profits when she sells the puppies?" The bargain is strong in this one. Off-brand Yoda, aka yogurt. I don't think owners who care for their dogs actually make much money off selling puppies. I looked into recently because I have a dog that used to be used for breeding. Quality vet care for mum plus puppies, especially if delivery is complicated, can be pricey. And on top of that, there's food, meds, and around-the-clock care needed for the newborn puppies. If they pay for sperm to keep genetics healthy, that's $1,500 to $2,000. They need to do genetic testing on mum and dad to make sure they're not passing down any harmful traits, and that isn't free either. Per hour, they make almost nothing when you subtract the actual costs. It's not a profitable business model for the most part. Now, puppy mills and shitty breeders who abuse the dogs, they make bank. My point is that after food, vet care, meds, and time spent caring for the dog, she's likely going to break even selling the mutts, if she intends to care for her dog well. But she sounds like an arsehole who lets her dogs free roam, so she might just be someone that does the minimum and then lists the puppies for something ridiculous like $1,500 on Craigslist. Is dog abortion a thing? I'd pay for that just to spare that poor mama dog, on the condition she be spayed after. Not the a-hole. If she wanted her dog to breed with specific other dogs, she should not have let it roam free. Also, what's with the "it was a purebred" bullshit? It's not like the dog's genes are now altered. If it breeds with another purebred dog of the same race, the result will be purebred puppies. I know it's a thing in the breeding world, but it's stupid as hell. I think she's referring to the fact that there is a maximum number of litters a female dog can have, and now one of those litters will be less profitable because they won't be purebred. She's still clearly the asshole here though. Everyone sucks here. New to your pets, people. Yep, both are the a-hole for leaving their pets unfixed. This really depends on where they live. For all we know, Opie's dog could be an extremely well-bred dog that may be bred in the future, responsibly. Maybe he's living in an area where dog overpopulation isn't a problem and is responsible with his dog. I live in the Netherlands, and a huge amount of people here don't spay and neuter their animals, but they are responsible with them. There's actually so few unwanted dogs here that they are often adopted sight unseen from other countries. Not neutering your animals doesn't automatically make you a bad owner. Letting your intact animal roam free, especially a female in heat, does. Opie's dog was in his own yard. This is in no way his fault, not the a-hole. And what do you guys think of that one? Do you have any strong opinions on breeding dogs and the purebred versus apparently mutt argument that we have going on here? I think I'm going to keep with my defense on the not the a-hole, although I think it's, practical to have your dog neutered because my chihuahua wouldn't stop peeing all over my house territorially. And after he did that, I noticed he put on a little bit of weight and he stopped peeing like that. So for me, it was a net positive all round once he was neutered. What's your guys' experiences on this one, and what do you think? Who's the a-hole in this story and why? Tell me down in the comments. And our last post for the day is by user Kip Trello, titled, "Am I the a-hole for locking my roommate's girlfriend out of my room and my bathroom?" So I, 21 male, share an apartment with another guy, John, 22 male. John started bringing his girlfriend Macy around a couple months ago, which I didn't have no problem with. She'd just stay here a couple of nights a week. Problems started happening over a month ago. Macy came to my room once and asked if she could use my bathroom. The apartment has a bathroom in each individual room because John's an effing mess. I've been in there before and I agree. He never cleans it, tub is stained full of hairs, streaks of piss on the toilet seat, smells like crap, and looks as bad as men's restrooms at a public park. I kinda wish I never let her. After that, whenever she was there, she'd ask if she could use my bathroom or straight up go when I'm not there. How did I know? I started noticing toilet paper balled up in my trash bin. My ex used to do this too when she changed her tampon, so I knew right away. Then she would literally use my shower when I'm not there because I also started seeing like these long-ass hairs stuck on the shower tile. Not only that, I work night shifts, so until late afternoon I'm sleeping in my room. She would wake me up to ask if she could use the bathroom. After I started saying no, she just started sneaking in. I'm a heavy sleeper, but a couple times I did catch her and she apologized, but it's because she can't stand using John's bathroom. I'd tell her to tell him to clean it then, and problem solved, but she says he promises he will, then never does. I'm already irritated with this and don't want her continuing going into my bathroom. So I went and got a lock for my room. A few days ago, John was pissed with me. Turns out, while I was sleeping, she kept knocking on my door trying to go in, but the lock kept her out. Anyways, she needed to pee really bad and John was already using the bathroom and had the, runs. So yeah, I guess she was banging on my door but couldn't hear because I was knocked out and also had my headphones on. She ended up having a small accident because she couldn't hold it in any longer. Because of that, she got mad at John, so now he's mad at me. I told him why I got the lock, because I don't want his girl coming into my room whenever she wants to use the bathroom. It's weird, and she leaves her own mess too. Still thinks I was a dick for getting the lock in the first place, and doesn't think it's such a big deal for her to use the bathroom because it's not like she snoops in my room. I mean, I don't know, sometimes I'm not there. Also dramatic according to him to go through all that trouble. Macy is giving me the side-eye whenever she's there now, and says I didn't have to be like that with her. So yeah, I didn't mean for her to have an accident, and I don't think I'm overdoing it by getting a lock when I kinda feel like I didn't have another option. I wasn't the a-hole here though, was I? 'Cause they sure as hell are acting like I am. I don't think OP is the a-hole in this instance. I think that they are being gaslit. They're being gaslit by these people. He doesn't want to deal with his problems and he doesn't want to fix the issues that he's causing and in turn fix the relationship with this girl, and she won't clean the bathroom. Like, it's not her job. I feel like this is entirely on him. Regardless, you should have had a lock on your door the entire time. I mean, I don't think it's acceptable to not have a lock when you're living with other people, especially someone who's pulling stuff like this, continuously coming into your room, giving you even more of a reason to have a lock. So their argument on that is just absolutely stupid. I support you in your reign of terror by having a lock on your door, OP. Continue to terrorize these two, you absolute behemoth, you. That's really all I have to say about this one. I don't think OP is the a-hole. I think this man that is arguing with OP needs to suck it up and grow a pair of nuts. Not the a-hole. Saucy Noodle Lover quotes, "Macy is giving the side-eye and says I didn't have to be like that with her." You absolutely had to be like that with her. She was going into your room when you weren't around and sneaking in while you were asleep. What a huge breach of privacy. Also, you agreed she could use the bathroom the times she asked for permission. You didn't give her blanket permission to use the bathroom whenever. Not to mention, she wasn't cleaning up after herself. She was expecting you to clean up after her. Also, she should dump your roommate if he's so disgusting that she can't share a bathroom with him. I'm surprised she trusts the cleanliness of his junk. Their issues aren't because you are now enforcing what should be an obvious boundary. Their issues stem from your roommate being a huge slob, not the a-hole. Carrie May says, not the a-hole. I feel sorry for the girl having an accident, but seriously, how did she get in that situation? I've held my pee for hours before, and I've never known a case of the runs to be so constant that he couldn't give her a few minutes to use the toilet. So it sounds like to me she was a bit silly for waiting to be that desperate before trying to access the toilet, and John was being a bit of a dick hogging the bathroom. Rather than arguing with each other, they are projecting their anger at you, which is just ridiculous. You have every right to put a lock on your door and have privacy. Honestly, I think you've had the patience of a saint to put up with your roommate's girlfriend waking you up, sneaking into your bathroom, going into your room and bathroom while you're not there, and leaving a mess behind her. You could have kicked off over any of those issues, and rightfully so. It sounds to me like putting a lock on your door and stopping these shenanigans is forcing them to confront the real issue, John. I am willing to bet that if she is so disgusted at his bathroom and she can't use yours anymore, that it's forced them to confront the fact that John is disgusting and immature and quite frankly needs to sort himself out. He's probably not happy about having to be a grown-up and clean for his girlfriend to keep coming round and for him to get laid. She's probably unhappy about having to confront the issue and realistically stop coming round or break up with him if he won't do it. But in the long run, this is doing them both a favor because he needs to grow up. And OP replies, in regards to the accident, I don't know, I've downed like a gallon of water once and was almost pissing myself too. I don't know how it got so bad for her. Didn't see it happen. Holy shit though, your comment makes sense. I've never actually thought about all that. Like I said, I thought it was just the incident they're mad at. Not the a-hole, John is a pig, Macy is dating a pig. She can use her shower at home or piss in his bathtub if the aforementioned problem happens again. It's nasty anyway, right? Plus, who lets their girl come over without making sure the porcelain throne is squeaky clean? What an animal. Not the a-hole. A grown-ass woman pissed herself just because she won't use her messy boyfriend's bathroom is 100% her fault. And John's fault. They can blame you as much as they like, but you don't have to share your bathroom with anyone. And I think that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. What did you think of these 3 stories that I've shared with you today? I did want to go a little bit longer than normal, so that's why it's kind of stretched out. Usually I like to keep them to 5 minutes, but today was a little bit of fun. Do you think it was reasonable that she chose to piss herself? She could have gone outside and found somewhere to. There's always a sink or a bathtub if you're really desperate to. I can understand how it came to this position, but I can't see why she didn't take any other desperate measures. I feel like, she chose the worst of all worlds. Pissing yourself is like a really stupid thing to have done in this circumstance. Who do you think was the a-hole in this situation? Do you think there was a possibility of an everyone sucks here judgment? Let me know down in the comments below. And with that, that's where I think I'm going to leave you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I do hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.